Korea is collective consciousness. Individualist is very bad word in Korea. You have to belong to another group. Which group? I belong to many groups. I belong to Ministry of Foreign Affairs. I belong to my graduate high school. I graduate to some university group and some my family group. You must belong to any group, any large groups. We have some collective consciousness. And then respect elders, I said. And we much emphasis on morality. You should be then academic capacity means if you want to be successful in your life, you have to study hard. Studying hard is almost equal to successful in your life in Korea. So that's the reason why education is very strong. It's too strong in Korea. We spent a lot of money on the education. Even rich people put on many people a lot of money to some private lessons. So it is some kind of the problems nowadays in Korea. But we emphasize on academic skill. Academic capacity means pessimistic. So always we are optimistic. And that's the reason why can-do spirit. It means I can do, you can do, we can do. So there is a very good spirit for the economic development. And some, maybe your wives, maybe enjoying watching Korean drama, maybe. I don't know, here in Western side. In Kathmandu, there's a lot of ladies who are enjoying watching the Korean movie and movies and dramas. And in Asian countries, it's very popular nowadays. Especially Japan. Japanese ladies, they are dying for the cinema, watching the Korean movie and drama. So every Japanese man is envy Korean man. The reason why is that we have rich content. As I said, we have a dynamic history. And dynamic history is combined with modern technology, IT, information technology. That makes the movies and dramas very nice. And very nice in content also. Because we have a lot of difficult times. So there's a lot of emotional events held in Korea. Then this one, third one is important. No government support. The entertainment company, they compete with each other, just like Samsung and LG and SK is competing with each other. And Hyundai Motors, Hyundai Automobile, and Kia and SsangYong, they struggle to each other because we don't support. You can do by yourself. Somebody is incompetitive, you can die. It is some free market economy. And the Korean pop song is also getting popular, also in Nepal. In Kathmandu, there are some association. It's called K-pop community in Nepal. It consists of 1,000 youngsters, young Nepalese. So it's getting popular. So I asked some parents who come with their kids when we have some gatherings. You are so accustomed to the Indian culture, Indian songs, but how can your daughter be some K-pop lovers? He said to me, maybe he was songs and the Bollywood movies, but the world, so they are easy to accept another cultures. Then I think so. That's quite interesting. This year, when I arrived in Nepal last April, when the time is approaching to the shrine, I saw many shops selling kite and selling the jungni. I was surprised because when I was a boy, I used to fly in a kite after harvest season in the field. After harvest is a very large part, and in Korea, October is some kind of getting to winter, so it become windy. So cold winds coming from China. So it is easy to fly up kite. So that is the only entertainment at the time. We don't have any other entertainment to fly kite. Surprise. So we share the same culture. Also Chungyi. So this year in October in Kathmandu, I had some competition, Korea and Nepalese flying kite. The one Nepalese who survived to the last one, so he got the Samsung TV. And we played some Chungyi test. who is the most, how can I say, play the Chungyi? Also, we gave him Samsung TV. I mean, we are the same culture, baby. So that's the reason why the Korean pop culture is easy to come to the park also. Around this watch over, they put a button like 300 million. Gangnam Style. Okay, let's get into some Korean. So as you expected, this is my main point of today's presentation. I do not want you to follow Korean way. I just give our experience, and I want you have some inspiration from our experience. So we have some lessons you can take. Then you can make it like Nepalese, and you can consider it in the near future. This is Korea now. Now. We were not like this in the before, 50 years ago. Let me see, 1950s, 1953. We didn't have anything. We didn't have natural resources. We didn't have technology. We didn't have any money to develop our economy. So nothing. And we sent our workers, minor workers, coal miner, to the centers, West Germany, to make money. Also around 27,000 people. And also nurse, we sent nurse to West Germany to make money. Because there is no job in Korea. Around 33,000 nurses, they went to Germany. They're working in Germany. And around 55,000 Korean soldiers fought in Vietnam. And not only for fighting, but also we are doing some wartime business also in Vietnam for 10 years. And Korea received $16.4 billion of grant from the foreign countries for 55 years until year of 2000. Then we worked hard and we escaped from the absolute poverty. Some doctor he said the absolute poverty level in Nepal is 25%, but in western side is 42%. I'm very sad to hear that, because I was also under the class of the absolute poverty. So we worked hard, but foreigners call it Korea's economic development miracle of Han River. Han River this is Han River. It's Han River running in the middle of Korea, the Seoul. So it is called, somebody called it the miracle of Rhine River in West Germany. So that is called miracle, but we don't call it miracle. It is outcome of our hard works. There's no luck here. We worked hard. It's not coming from naturally. No, we worked hard. How we worked? You can see this one. For 100 years, recent years, from 1910, we were colonized by the Japanese. And until 1960, first half of 50 years, nothing changed, almost the same. But from 1960 and 2010, it is very hard, stiff, very stiff. We developed so fast, so vastly. Or 50 years, it's different country, we become different countries. Let me look at it. From 1960s and 1980s, for 30 years, Korean economy is led by the government. Government is the only largest business group from the first stage. So for 30 years, government led the economy. And the most, maybe some management department consider, we are not put the money on the light industry. We are put the money heavy and chemical industry, just like the advanced countries. We want to be strong and some rich in the future, not in the short time. So we prepared to put the money on the some heavy and chemical industry. That's the reason why later we can see what is our success story. But the traditional industrial policy is not working yet, working no more in 1990s. So Korea has some problems for economy. So at that time, we needed reform our economy. So this expression, very strange, change everything except your wife and children. Who said? The chairman of Samsung Group, Lee Gun-in. He said, he directed all the men of Samsung Group, change everything except your wife and children. And Samsung changed from 1993. Then they worked hard. Not only hard, but they worked very smartly. Then they become overcome the Japanese electronic companies. You can see nowadays the TV, digital TV and the smartphone. So we overcome the Sony. So Samsung's TV is expensive, more expensive than Sony. Sony, Panasonic, Mitsubishi. When I was young, it is very, very high quality. Samsung is low quality. But they changed 1993. Then, after 20 years, they got the fruits. They overcome in digital area. So in analog area, we are behind the Japan, but in digital area, we become the first of the Japan. And then from 1990, the high technology industries is predominant in Korea, and private business is now leading the Korean economy. So Samsung, Hyundai, SK, Daewoo, sometimes over Daewoo, but it's gone. Daewoo is gone because competition. They lose with the competition between Samsung. Then Daewoo is gone. Yeah, not only the economic development is not means only economic matters. It social matters. You can see this one. In 1962, Korea was GDP per capita was $87, but 50 years later, we are $26,000. But we are much richer than before. Not only rich. You can see this one, social development. 1962, Korea's life expectancy was 55 years only. I'm 58 years old now. If I were in 1962, I'm not here. No more. And nowadays, it was changed 81. But actually, this year we 82 years old. So I have to live 23 years more. I can live because economic development is done. Something was done by me, and something done by our parents' generation. And one more thing, infant mortality rate. Infant mortality rate, you know that. The baby, which born in baby is before 5 years. From 1,000 babies, how many died? So, 1962, among 1,000 babies, 138 babies should die before 5 years. But now, only 5. Only 5 babies died before 5 years. What makes this kind of the social development? I think economic development make possible this social development. So that's the reason why I already emphasize economic development means not only being rich, but also being happy. Happy. Life is happy. The policy size should be different from our size. So circumstances different, peoples are different, and policy is different, and the surrounding the nation is different. The pictures. Yeah, this is a highway. from Seoul to Busan. When it was built, Korean GDP per capita is less than $200. Highway, you can drive more than 100 kilometers per hour. So at that time, everybody accused him, you are crazy. We are $200 GDP. What is needed? What we need for export. It's very, still, the highway is very good job. And this is the postcode, it's a furnace, steel industry. This is electricity. If you want to become industrialization, you need electricity. And human resources. As I said, we didn't have anything, but we have a lot of people, but uneducated people, unskilled people only. So we put the money on education. Korean War is finished, the ceasefire 1950. Free is a government job. Somebody, when I was having some poker in Kathmandu, somebody said, this is Bagmati River? No, it is Korea, 50 years ago. We changed this way. And the Seoul changed this way. This is Seoul. It's a night. Seoul night. Korea now. And then I will introduce some the private story. Next. There's a boy, 7 years boy. He's look dirty and some poor, but he had a dream to become some very nice guy in the future, and he studied hard. But his parents could not afford him to go to university. So free course, just like the American course, So you're free of charge. Free of charge. Free of charge means you have to do something for your country. So he served as a military army officer for 6 years. And he worked hard. And he changed his job as a retired from the army. He became some government officer. And he worked hard. And he became to the department. It took 50 years. Korea's economic development is not only some meaning of the data or some numbers. It's my life also. Maybe you're surprised. Everything has changed from my generation. My son is different guy nowadays. He has never experienced any poverty. He doesn't have any concept what is poor means. Only one generation. Only one generation. Okay, next. Korea-Nepal relationship. As some doctor said that we are established bilateral diplomatic relations in 1974. Last year we celebrated 40th anniversary. So during 40 years we kept mutual respect and friendly relations between two countries. For example, nowadays around 27,000 Nepali workers in Korea passed by the EPS, employment permit system. So we have 27,000 Nepali workers in Korea. But the EPS system is a very nice system. This is the only one system in the world. It's very nice because we have 15 countries have a MOU with the government, MOU with the 15 countries. Nepal is one of the 15 countries. We make some contract. You didn't pay anything. If you pass Korean language test, then they are enrolled on the list. And to be picked up by the Korean businessmen. So there's nothing, it costs nothing. You pay only for $23 for Korean language test. Then flight fee to Korea is around, the come and go is $900 US, around $900 US. But our policy, our law guarantee minimum wage of everyone, not only domestic foreigners, you have to be paid by more than $1,000 a month. It's a legal obligation. So any Korean businessman who employ any guy, he paid at least $1,000 a month. There is a huge money compared to the some department. We pay for the some Mr. Shiba, but Shiba is a different case. But he paid well, our embassy, because he studied in Korea 7 years. So he's got some master's degrees in Korea, so he can speak Korean. And he worked in Korea for 10 years. So he's a different guy. But usual, normal embassy staff, they're paid a little bit over $200 a month. But Nepali workers who is in Korea paid at least $1,000 a month. So after 1 month, he paid all of that. He had what he has come to Korea. So paid all of it, only 1 month. It's open competitive. It's open competition. There's nobody involved. There's no manpower companies involved. It's open competition. So if you study Korean language, then if you are physically okay, then you can go. So last year, in Korean language test, applied more than 70,000 Nepalis. But among 70,000, only 7,000 are selected by the Korean government, the Korean businessmen. So the competition very high. Northern India, and I already explained to Nepalese businessmen also. Why don't you come to Korea if you want to go to Northeast Asia, China, and Japan? Korea is the most kind country to the businessmen. Korea will be the gateway to you go to not only Korea but also to Japan. And if you have happily, and if you hesitated questions, please I'll take.
Concept is individualism is a bad concept for Koreans so far. Isn't that a sort of contradiction at present? Thank you.
Good question. Yes, the democratization is completed in Korea. So from 1988, the democratization is completed because you can say you have a female president now, but Korea is a presidential system. President is selected by people, by voting. You can't see any female prime minister in Japan. You can't see any the Xi Jinping, only the man in China. Korea is the first country to produce female president by people. So Korea's democracy is almost completed. The second question, individualism. Yes. Until my generation, we have to belong to any group, or we have to think of collective consciousness. But my son, he thinks differently from me. He's so individualist. What is the aim of your life? He doesn't hesitate to say. Happy for him, not happy for my family, not happy for my relatives, my country. Fourth target is himself. Nowadays, we are living. That kind of concept is changing now. So changing now. So, but still the predominant concept. I think the man is still a little bit more conservative than the young ladies in Korea, because every man should go to military service. Nowadays, 20 months. When I was young, we have to serve 3 years, but nowadays less than 2 years. It's mandatory.
Mandatory.
Yeah, mandatory. They are working for the country for not free of charge. They're serving in the military service for 2 years. I think that makes Korean people still not individual. The individual is not strong enough. So we have to serve for our country for 2 years. You can imagine, during the university life, you have to go army for 2 years and stop, not everything. Then only trained, military trained and practiced and serving for the country. They are paid $10 a month. $10 a month. $10 is not the paid. It's just working for, voluntary working for. So I think that's coming from still the individuals not strong. It's changing, but not strong enough.
Thank you, sir.
Any other? Okay, if there's
Yes, Your Excellency.
Ah.
One question, one request, as well as one question here. First of all, through your presentation, I come to know that about 40,000 Korean people, they come to visit in different part of Nepal. But out of them, only few people they visit far western region. Actually, in far western, there are many beautiful places, just like Khoptat. Like Khoptat is very beautiful, naturally decorated. Myself, I have visited different part of India in tourist places like Goa, like others, and some other hill areas also. But Khoptat is very romantic and naturally decorated places. Khoptat one, likewise the Visaipal and some many other beautiful tourist places are in far western region. But already, just I mentioned my welcome presentation there, our poverty level is very high. Our communication level is also very poor. That is why we are unable to advertise about the tourism places. Now, through your excellency, I would like to inform, I would like to invite Korean tourists also to visit our far western region also. Here are many beautiful places. Second one, there is one confusion. Through your presentation, there is mentioned that at the beginning, Korean government has also applied the government-led economic policy. From 60 to 80s, yes, state-led economic government policy. Not only Korea, at the beginning, when the poverty level is very low.
When I mentioned Korean economy was led by government for 30 years, it does not mean we are a socialist. We took market economy, but government is leading the economy. So when 1961, the President Park was elected, and he chose market economy, capitalism, not communism, not socialism, but politicians not involved in business. So, and then government official is also one of the best, the very important factor when you develop your country. My ancestors, the government officials, but they were very proud of themselves. They contributed to the country. They were working for the country, not working for themselves, not working for their family. They are working for the country. So, when I was junior officer to Korea for the scholarship, so we will think. So we will let you know. So you can apply for
presentation, and we are milestone to develop quality education and economic development and the relationship between Korea and Nepal. Now I would like to request the campus chief of Kailali Multiple Campus. He has spending every moment to build this campus at this level, to put his remarkable and valuable insight regarding this college and this program.
Mr. Chairperson, Panwadu Shah, Chief Guest, Choi Young-jin, Honorable Ambassador, South Korea in Nepal, Shirley Ing-jo, Guest, Shiva Pokhrel, Korean Ambassador, Person, and lecturer, staff in Kailali campus. Lecturer, staff, and other personnel, different personnel. Your Excellency, Choi Young-jung, South Korean Ambassador in Nepal. At first, I would like to welcome Your Excellency on behalf of this campus. It's your great honor to receive such distinguished personalities and his team member at the campus. This is the first time ever in the whole history of this campus that we have found such high-level international personality at our campus. The visit of the Excellency will be a fruitful and memorable event in the history of the college and its day to come. I wish all the success of this visit in his part of the world. Finally, I would like a lot of thanks for you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chief Sir, for valuable notes. Now I would like Campus Chief and Lemraj Fund to provide token of love. Provide the token of love. Okay, I would like to request the campus chief, Surendra Chand, to provide the token of love to the ambassador of South Korea.
Okay, thank you very much.
Having you around us. And finally, I would like to request the chairperson, Ranbadur Shah, to put his vote of thanks and to close this. This program to put his conclude notes and thanks of vote and to close this program, and I am being signing up. Thank you very much.
विश्वविद्यालयका रजिस्ट्रार त्यस क्याम्पसका गुरुवर्ग विद्यार्थी भाइ बहिनीहरू आज हामीले हाम्रा माझ महामहिम राजदूतलाई स्वागत गर्न पायौँ। यो हाम्रो लागि एउटा ऐतिहासिक क्षण हो र हाम्रो कोरिया नेपालको सम्बन्धमा अझै गति दिनेछ, अझ विकसित गर्नेछ भन्ने विश्वास लिएको छु र यस अवसरमा स्वागत मन्तव्य गर्नुभयो र प्रजा सङ्घका सभापतिलाई धन्यवाद र क्याम्पसका गतिविधिबारे प्रेजेन्टेसन गरिदिनु भएकोमा डाक्टर पदराज जोशीलाई धन्यवाद क्याम्पस परिवारको तर्फबाट दिन चाहन्छु र यस क्याम्पसमा भिजिट गरेर हाम्रो हौसला अभिवृद्धि गरिदिनु भएकोमा क्याम्पस परिवारका तर्फबाट साथै यस सुदूरपश्चिमका सम्पूर्ण नेपालीहरूका तर्फबाट पनि म राजदूत महोदयमा धन्यवाद दिन चाहन्छु र आजको उहाँको प्रेजेन्टेसनले कोरिया त्यत्तिकै विकसित भएको होइन, त्यहाँका मान्छेको डेडिकेसन छ, केही योगदान छ भन्ने कुरा हामीले सिक्यौँ। यदि हामीले त्यसबाट केही सिक्यौँ, केही बुझ्ने प्रयास गऱ्यौँ र त्यसलाई कार्यान्वयन गर्न अग्रसर भयो भने निश्चित रूपमा नेपाल कोरियाको गन्तव्यमा पुग्न सक्दैन भन्न सकिँदैन, तर हामीमा डिटर्मिनेसन हुनु पऱ्यो। त्यो जुन कोरियनमा रहेछ, यदि त्यसै हो हामी राष्ट्रका लागि गर्छौँ कि आफ्ना लागि गर्छौँ, हामीले देशलाई कति कन्ट्रिब्युसन दियौँ भन्ने कुरो एउटा देशलाई राखेर सोच्ने कुरो छ। अर्को हामीले क्याम्पसलाई पनि राखेर सोच्नुपर्ने छ, हामीले क्याम्पसका लागि के गऱ्यौँ त, के योगदान रह्यो हाम्रो, हामीले हाम्रा लागि गऱ्यौँ क्याम्पसका लागि गऱ्यौँ। यदि यही सोच मात्रै राख्यौँ भने निश्चित रूपमा हाम्रो क्याम्पस पनि अग्रणी भारत भनेर मात्रै होइन कार्यान्वयन पक्षमा पनि अग्रणी देखिने छ। यो साथ दिलाउँदै तपाईँहरूलाई उपस्थित भइदिनु भएको हामी धन्यवाद दिँदै म यो सभा यहीँ विसर्जन भएको
यतातिर सर एकछिन सबजना यता हेर्नु है। रेडी रेडी बट्टाबाट हान त एकदम फटाफट हान्दै गर पुरा लङ खाला न त।
त्यो मोबाइल तल गर्नु नि एकचोटि। ल ल सब यहाँ हेर्नु होला है। ल
प्लस पनि हाल्न त चिफ सरको चाहिँ अब